Alright, we're going to go through the Thanksgiving break assignment, which is the first two assignments for the AP Computer Science A Magpie Chatbot Lab. So you should go through the first part. This document will be available to you guys. You should go through activity 1 on your own. So go to chatbots.org, try to figure out the answer to these questions. What is a chatbot? You don't have to work together in a group, but can you identify some of the keywords, things that it seems to respond the same to, things like that. And we're going to go through activities 2 and 3, which you must complete prior to the end of the break. So you're going to get the code, which will also be available for you, and the code for the runner, and BlueJ. You're going to run the Magpie class using the instructions provided by your teacher. So you're going to check how it responds to my mother and I talked last night. I said no, the weather is nice, and do you know my brother? So we have the Magpie runner. You're going to have these, and then you're going to modify it. So you run it, makes an object of the Magpie 2 class, and it says hello, let's talk. So the questions we wanted it to answer were, my mother and I talked last night. Tell me more about your family. I said no. Why so negative? The weather is nice. You don't say, do you know my brother? Why so negative? Interesting. Okay. So, now we will end the program. I think it's by with a capital B. So now let's look at the code. So exploration. See how the if statement assigns a value to the response and returns that response. So first we'll start with the runner. It has a scanner, creates an object of the Magpie class, prints the greeting from the Magpie class, creates a new in, and just stores whatever you type, including spaces. That's what next line does. While your statement doesn't equal by with a capital B, call the getResponse method of the Magpie class, and then get the next thing that the person prints. So that's pretty simple. Again, the runner just creates an object of the class and the class does all the work. So this is going to be the longest program that we have worked with so far. So some comments. Uses index to define strings, handles responding to simple words and phrases, uses a nested if to handle default responses. So, get a default greeting, return that greeting. So, public string get greeting, hello, let's talk. So it's just always going to say that at the beginning. That's greeting. Gives response to a user statement. So, when I get the greeting, I then store, I create a scanner, then I store as my string statement the next thing that they type. I then pass that, if it doesn't say by, I pass statement as the parameter to the getResponse method. Okay. Now notice I have a method that I never call in my tester. I have this method getRandomResponse. So we'll look at that in a second. But getResponse takes my statement parameter, comes in here in the getResponse method of the class, and creates a string response, sets it equal to the empty string. If statement's index of no is greater than or equal to 0, remember index of returns the start of value, and remember string indexes start at 0, of where this word starts. So if the letters N and O are anywhere in what you typed, this is 0 or greater, and this is a true statement, and the automatic response is why so negative, and we return response. Else if statement index of mother, father, sister, or brother, if any of those words appear, but it checks no first, so the order is important. If it said brother no, then it would trigger this part first. no, sorry, it still looks for this first, and if it passes this, it goes to the next one. So if no is anywhere in there, it's going to say why so negative, and it's going to see if mother, father, sister, brother is there, and in which case it's going to say tell me more about your family. If neither of these statements is true, so the letters no or mother, father, sister, brother do not appear in the string, then it comes down here to the else, in which case response gets set to this method get random response. So I have a pick a default response, and the at return is a non-committal string. So final int number of responses is 4. Double R is math.random, which is a decimal number between 0 and up to but not including 1. Int which response is cast an int from R times number of responses. Now obviously I don't care about the decimal, so I cast it as an int, and that's going to give me a number between 0 and 4, but it's going to give me 0 through 3, which is 4 responses. And if I randomly pick 0, it says interesting, tell me more, or or do you really think so, or you don't say. Okay. Exercises. Alter the code. Have it respond, tell me more about your pets, when the statement contains the word dog or cat. For instance, I like my cat Mittens, tell me more about your pets. So in your get response method, you need to modify this such that cat or dog are checked before the random response and the answer is appropriate. Then have it respond favorably when it sees the name of your teacher, and also have the code check that the statement has at least one character. You can do this by using the trim method to remove spaces from the beginning and the end, and then checking the length of the trimmed string. If there are no characters, the response should tell the user to enter something. So if you enter blank, say something please. Now that should be the first thing that you check. And it doesn't even have to, you can just write another if statement above this if statement. So if statement.trim.length equals 0, say something please. So get that to work. Add 2 more non-committal random responses, and pick 3 more keywords that you come up with on your own, and edit the response. You don't have to fill in the blanks here, but write 3 that you want. It doesn't matter what they are. And then be able to answer this question. Then you also need to answer the question. So in a Google document, type up the answers and upload them into a folder. All of this needs to go into a folder called Thanksgiving break assignments. You need to make another subfolder called activity 2, and in there you need to put your Java files as well as the Google document answering the questions from activity 1, which is this is the only one. Answer that question. You're going to make a new folder called activity 3. Inside of that, you're going to have the activity 3 Magpie Java files, and then a Google Doc answering the questions. So in the previous activity, we discovered that simply searching for letters does not always work. Cat is in catch, but it's still going to trigger index of. So we'll use some more complex string methods in this activity. The string class has many useful methods, not all of which are included in the AP subset. So you need the Magpie 3 class, the string class, if you can read it, string explorer, Magpie 3 runner. So open the program string explorer. Okay. And open the program. Currently has code to illustrate the use of the index of and 2 lowercase methods. Scroll down and find the index of string method. Follow the link and read the description. What value is returned by index of if the substring does not occur? You get -1. On the following lines to see for yourself the index of behaves as proper. Int not found, and add that in to your string here. Demonstrate the index of, and then other methods here. Exploration. Understand the new method. This version of Magpie has a method called find keyword. Okay. So get response. Now I call find keyword. Find keyword is down here. Has a statement, the goal, and a start position. String phase, trim all spaces off. In position is phrase to lowercase, index of, goal to lowercase, and start position. Go through, check everything else. So this searches for one word in a phrase. Find keyword, return, find keyword, statement, goal, starting at 0. And then if none of that works, get a random response. Okay. Read through find keyword, make sure you understand it, trace the following. See if you can understand position before and after as this runs. So find keyword, yesterday is today's day before, looking for day starting at 0. So the first time around, position is 6, before is R, here. After is a space. That means that day is stuck inside of it. So I reset. So position now becomes 15. I'm going to skip and say I'm not done yet. Day here. And before it, nope, day here. Before it is an O and after it is an apostrophe. That's inside of a word. Not done yet. Reset. Find index of day starting at index 21. Before is a space, after is a space. I have found the word all by itself. So, repeat the changes you made to the program activity 2, but add everything to activity 3. And then answer the statements. And then we will finish the chatbot during the first week when you return.